Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Second of April. So today's problem, well, I've been putting this off for 18 months, 2 years. I'll show you the problem. I fitted this flaming thing up, this curtain track, all that time ago, and there's a problem with it. I didn't quite get the joint right, and I cut it in such a way that there was a bit of a kink. I tried to replace it, and the whole thing was out of print, so I couldn't get replacement. So I'm stuck with this problem, which is this: if you pull the curtain like that, basically the curtain doesn't pull, and it's been like that for a rather long time. When you've been banged up, I find psychologically it's good to change your shirt every couple of weeks. It just gives you that little extra lift. During that commercial break, I happened to have a WhatsApp call from Tony in Melbourne, and I put the problem to him, and he called me something called a dingbat. Apparently there are two possible solutions to this problem. One is you look at the track itself, and the other one is you look at what's dangling on the trap. And I think if I look at the dangle issue, I may find that it might save me a few more weeks of grief trying to figure out a way of replacing the track when I can't get out of the house. Okay, what Tony said was that if you get hold of a little dangly thing, there it is, and if I put a toroidal section on the top there by drilling it out with a 6mm router bit or something similar to a tolerance of plus or minus 2 nanometers, things might begin to work. I pulled out of stock an antique Black & Decker drill built around, well, just after the Second World War, I think, and I put one of these gizmos in it, and just to demonstrate what I'm going to try and do with taking care with my safety glove. I'm not going to switch it on because it's deafening, and if I do that and that and that and that a few times, I might get it to within the 2 nanometer tolerance that Tony's trying to get out of me. Here's the offending curtain where I've modified all the little hanger things, and here's the offending joint, and I think you'll agree I've made a pretty neat job straightening the damn thing out. So I think now's the time to call the inspector and see if we can get it passed. I've just called the inspector. I think she's on her way.
What?
Okay, good. Right, so your job, my dear, is to pass this for... Hang on.
Look at the bedroom.
I think you'll find that this thing absolutely goes like clockwork now. So I've spent a whole day on this. So can you just check out whether it's nice and smooth?
Looks like you spent a fortnight at it.
Well, yes. That's actually the wrong one you're testing there. It's the one that goes around the corner you're trying to test. Right, the next one round. Right, I think you'll find... Oh. Could you just try be a little less fearsome? If you need it, there's a very useful aluminium discrete stick you can use to poke it. Try once again and see.
I don't like to say this. It's no better than it was before.
It's what?
It's no better than it was before. Look at all the tools.
Look,
Oh dear.
you've absolutely no respect for craftsmanship from the working
I'm not
classes.
taking photographs.
What? Okay, look, try once again. Look, take that one back a bit. That's right. No, just take it nice. Oh, no. Oh, I think we've got a problem. I can hear a lot of mirth in the background. I don't know what's happened here. It hasn't worked out quite as I thought. It does seem we have a little bit of a problem here. The problem seems to be that some of these DIY projects that don't seem to be come out quite the way they should. This one does not seem to have a happy ending, so I don't know how the hell we're going to sign it off.
Well,
Hang on, but maybe the inspector's got an idea.
no, stop. Go away, Drew. Leave me alone.
Yeah, what can you say? Good morning. It's the 3rd of April, possibly Friday, but who knows. It was a bit of a bad day yesterday. The inspector was in one of her picky moods, and so it looks as if we're back to the drawing board. I happen to belong to an outfit where second best is kind of not accepted, so I'm not going to give up on this. And I was encouraged last night when I switched on the box and Boris came on, and he said, I can't remember his exact words, but it was something like, we're going to get this curtain track done. However long it takes, we are going to get it done. So I'm going to regroup and we're going to have the day off. So there we are. Onward and upward. As you probably gather, I had a really bad day with the curtain track. So I got in touch with Lucy, head of my art department, and said we're going to have to abandon the whole thing. To cut long story short, she wouldn't accept that and said, I'm going to send you some advice. And here it is. It says, now that I've been able to do a rough edit of your curtain track problem, I thought you might like the actual advice from the art department, as this is an issue I've dealt with several times on set. Technical term. I think in this case you have brought the big guns in unnecessarily when the issue is more of a delicate one. However large you make the aperture of a hook, it will always make contact with the obstacle when pressure is applied. As you have discovered, people like to apply pressure when they close curtains, particularly actors who have to close curtains at the same time as acting. First of all, you need to give your hooks a light spray with furniture polish, the aerosol kind, something like Mr. Sheen. Whatever you do, don't get it on the curtains. This could be very bad news with the boss of curtains. You know who that is. Next, you want to smooth over the obstacle as much as possible, so that the hooks have a nice gentle run up towards it. I would suggest a long strip of LX tape over the front of the offending joint. You need to do this very neatly and make sure to cut with scissors or a scalpel so it has a very flush edge. Happy to provide diagrams tomorrow if required, because I know you like printing diagrams. This method has worked for me at least twice in the past, which is 100% success rate, but as you can't have an art department there to apply it, I can't guarantee that. Sometimes you need an art director, not a chippy. Okay, well, I'm not at all sure about this, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, here's the scene of the crime. Now, I've done my best to follow the letter and the spirit of the law as laid down by Lucy, my art director. I happen to have key items of equipment in stock, unsurprisingly, including some very classy tape and Mr. Sheen, whatever that is. And so I've done it exactly as instructed. Now, I've got absolutely no way of knowing whether this is going to work until the inspector arrives on the scene. And then, of course, there'll be a declaration of either war or peace, depending on how things go. I'm here. Right, I've called the inspector, so here she is. So let her have a go at this and see what she makes of it.
Oh.
A minute.
Crikey.
Crikey, that's a good start.
Well, they're pushed right back. Does that mean they won't go any further forward?
Oh my God, here we go. Will you please stop asking questions I can't answer? Right, here we go.
I'm not sure if I dare do this.
Hold your breath. What? Does the other one
Oh,
work?
look at that.
What? Look at what?
Smooth as a baby's bottom. Oh, look.
How about that?
Oh, magic.
I bet the other one doesn't work.
Have you done both sides?
Well,
Ooh.
that's for me to know and you to find out.
Oh. Right, it's curtains for you.
Here we go. Again.
When did you do this?
When did I do it? It's in the middle of the night when you weren't looking.
Oh, yeah, I bet. You make as much noise as a herd of elephants if you did it in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Lou, that's gratitude for you.
Oh, I say.
Oh, I say.
Right,
Right,
there you
but-
are. It's all dark now.
Yeah, no, I think there's a problem. I think you can shut them, but I don't think they open.
Oh, don't be daft. Even I could see that. Look at that. Look at that. Uh-huh. Oh,
Okay. Right, that seems to work.
Wow. That is an improvement in my life and my temper.
So I nearly smiled there. Try the other one.
Oh, look at that.
How about that?
Right, well, I've got 6 other jobs for you.
Hey Lou, I think we've got a result.